I'm grateful to be here today to testify on this funding package, especially as our nation is at a crossroads with unprecedented challenges internationally, domestically, and with our economy. I also want to join in thanking our appropriators. I think the leadership on both sides of the aisle have done an amazing job of balancing the issues and coming to a bipartisan path forward. In spite of that, I remain deeply concerned about giving further fiscal resources to an administration that is clearly stepping over its constitutional authority on a daily basis. I want to start by first saying that I am grateful to see that funding for the Department of Homeland Security has been stripped out of this package for this week. I believe that a budget represents your values, and I also believe that in the face of a fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis this week by an ICE agent under DHS leadership, and the subsequent lying and gaslighting that we've seen from the Vice President, Secretary Noem, and top Trump officials, we cannot in good conscience provide unchecked funding to an agency that is both committing acts of violence in our communities, violating due process rights, and tearing our communities apart as a nation, which is why I say enough is enough, and I believe that the DHS Secretary must be held accountable and removed. Today, I offer 3 amendments to reassert Congress's power, including its war powers, maintaining the independence of the Federal Reserve and stabilizing our economy, and maintaining the power of the purse and stopping the ongoing assault on our federal workers and federal programs by DOGE that seems to continue today. The first amendment I am offering is a War Powers resolution. I am grateful to have joined 2 War Powers resolutions introduced by the ranking member, and here today am offering both an amendment and a resolution I will offer on the floor that will end hostilities and remove U.S. military forces from within or against any sovereign nation in the Western Hemisphere, including Greenland. After the president's unlawful attack on Venezuela and apparent pressure campaign to steal their oil, and now unchecked and continuous threats against others in the Western Hemisphere, including the nations of Colombia, Cuba, and our allies in Greenland, I believe that we must stop this president from overstepping his constitutional authority. This War Powers resolution, which I will introduce also on the floor, would not only stop the president from making unauthorized acts of aggression against our allies, but also protect the NATO alliance to which this funding bill applies and which has kept the United States and our allies safe since 1949. Let us not forget that an attack against any NATO member is an attack against us all. It endangers not only American national security, but those of our allies in Europe. My second amendment is with regards to the Federal Reserve. We have seen unprecedented attacks on the independence of the Federal Reserve and its leadership, including the firing of Lisa Cook and now DOJ's attack on Jerome Powell. I know that there are members on both sides of the aisle in this committee that have expressed both their private and public concerns about the president's interference in monetary policy and its potential impacts on destabilizing markets, a potential financial crash, out of control inflation, and the impacts to potentially millions of Americans' life savings. This amendment would put the president in check and ensure that no federal official can use federal resources to interfere with the Fed's independence or share false or misleading information regarding monetary policy or Fed leadership. Finally, my third amendment would reassert Congress's power of the purse and restrict the Office of Management and Budget from illegally impounding federal funds, and calls for a full audit and accounting of DOJ's activities, which have not only overstepped Congress's authorities, it has dismantled agencies, leading to the firing of thousands of federal workers, stealing of American data, dismantling vital programs, and continuous infringement on programs that the American people depend on. This amendment is designed to rein in OMB and to reassert Congress's authority to direct funds to the programs that are vital to the American people. I want to point out that there is still breaking news in the last couple of weeks that DOJ has continued to violate the rights and the spending of both Congress and programs important to the American people. And in fact, just yesterday, it was announced that Elon Musk would be granted a contract through his Grok AI to have his AI system integrated with the Pentagon. How is this okay? He took our most sensitive data, and now he's being granted access to our most closely guarded national secrets. This has got to stop. These should be nonpartisan issues that unite Congress, protecting the powers that we were elected and vested by the United States Constitution and the people of the United States to protect. Americans demand action now, and I urge my 3 amendments be adopted to rein in the president and ensure that Congress can operate as a truly co-equal branch of government.